The Young Thug and Gunna Rico case has been real silent until today, as new updates in the courtroom revealed 300 new witnesses and snitches against the rap group YSL, including head honcho Young Thug. It was announced, and I quote, "The state says it will be calling 300 witnesses during the YSL trial and may require 3.5 months. Judge Glanville thinks it will take longer." Now, this YSL trial will not be happening soon. Allegedly, out of the 300 witnesses, roughly 25 of them are snitches, and the rest are crime witnesses and experts on determining on how certain crimes were committed. While this new information was announced to the courtroom, photos of Gunna and Young Thug were taken and released online. Now, one of the snitches, however, in YSL have been identified, as Young Thug has had enough of this man snitching and decided to have it dealt with. This is when we saw Jaden Myrick have to admit to doing this, as the feds have hard-hitting evidence against him. Now, the man snitching is known as Lil Woody. Lil Woody demanded safety for him and his family after he started snitching on Young Thug. Lil Woody allegedly stated during his snitching interview that Young Thug is, quote, "a very dangerous person. If you cross him, he will get you and your family." Now, Lil Woody didn't only snitch on Young Thug. Allegedly, Lil Woody also snitched on Lil Baby, as well as other members of YSL. With Lil Woody also being friends with other snitching members in YSL, this was mentioned during a recent court hearing.
He's the one directing traffic. He is the one they're all afraid of. He's the one that's king slime. He is the most dangerous of the 28, Judge. And I implore you not to grant him a bond. He is dangerous. If he gets a burner, Judge, and the court may know this, a lot of the communications that Mr. Williams is on FaceTime, because it's not traceable, it's not trackable. Judge, I will also say that we have taken proffers from fellow from Mr. Williams. Some are on this indictment, some are not. They have stated uniformly that Mr. Williams is dangerous. They are afraid of him, that if they cross him, he will them and their family. And they were very clear about that.
Concerns that this court has is danger to persons and to intimidate other witnesses and obstruct the administration of justice. So and for those reasons in the aggregate, I'm going to deny bond at this time.
Now, the feds know that Lil Woody is close with many members in YSL, and with how snitching works in court cases, if you are a snitch and you can get others to also become snitches, this will only knock more and more time off of your prison sentence. Now, this has now turned more members of YSL into snitches against Young Thug. Now, as the evidence stacks up against him, his lawyers, however, just changed his music career forever, as this will be the end of the rap name Young Thug. Now, on October 27th, Young Thug's Twitter account released a statement, and I quote, "Jeffrey has reportedly cut ties with Young Thug," as an online lawyer released a statement regarding on what this exactly means. Follow along closely. Now, Jeffrey Williams plays the role/character of Young Thug. The character Young Thug is technically a brand, and it's not a real person. The brand Young Thug is owned by the record label 300 Entertainment for entertainment purposes only. As stated in evidence, all lyrics used by the character Young Thug relates to no human being, as it's just entertainment for music. With Young Thug being a character, the actions and views made by him in lyrics, music videos, and videos online should not and cannot reflect back on the human Jeffrey Williams, as he is only playing a character. Jeffrey Williams was a person portraying to be Young Thug on behalf of the company 300 Entertainment and the YSL business. Now, I know that sounds confusing, but that's exactly why Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, has the greatest lawyers in the United States. And if you're still confused, imagine an actor in a movie committing a crime that's illegal. After he does it on the set, he's not going to get arrested after they're done filming for that day. Now, think of it in music terms. Jeffrey Williams is making music portraying to be a street member by the name of Young Thug. No lyrics he uses in music is real. A majority of the evidence against Young Thug is related and tied to the music that he has created, with lyrics dissing ops, explaining crimes, and so on. Young Thug was saying those lyrics. Jeffrey Williams had nothing to do with it and was just reading a script of lyrics. His lawyers had no choice but to do this, as the list of charges against Young Thug have actually gotten even longer since his second recent court hearing. Now, this court hearing is what made the following hearings delayed for so long now, as Young Thug is now being charged with team involvement charges, narcotic charges, possession of firearm charges, possession of a firearm during the commission of a felony charge, possession of a fully auto firearm, 3 separate charges of unlawful for person employed by or associated with criminal street activity, and then to end it off, Young Thug is being charged with the Racketeer Influence and Corrupt Organizations Act, otherwise known as the Rico charge. Now, on September 29th, Young Thug's updated charges were highlighted by the prosecutors after it was announced new court documents that has dropped Gunna from any street-related charges in the original indictment, as Gunna has been named by 0 witnesses as well as 0 snitches. Gunna's been locked up for 140 days. He has a 3rd attempt at bond very soon. Online lawyers already claimed that Gunna has a 98% chance at bond. Meanwhile, Young Thug is trying to get any help that he can, as during the court hearing, a very concerning new piece of evidence was found inside of the YSL mansion, which will add many years to Young Thug's sentence. As the evidence report states, in the name and behalf of the citizens of Georgia, do charge and accuse Duke, Yak Gotti, and Jeffrey Williams, aka Young Thug, with the offense of possession of a firearm for the said accused in the state of Georgia in the county of Fulton on the 9th day of May 2022 did unlawfully possess a firearm with a converter switch and extended mags. Now, what is known as a switch in many rappers' lyrics nowadays is actually a mod that you can attach to a single fire firearm, and in the end, it makes it fully auto, which in the United States is highly illegal. Inside of the YSL mansion, owned by Young Thug, was many of these exact items, as these items were found during this Young Thug mansion raid. And if you thought that was bad, here's where it gets even worse. Now, as it was announced Gunna's charges are being dropped and has a very high chance at bond, Young Thug's lawyers then tried arguing for Young Thug to also be released as well. Now, prosecutors were ready and were waiting for this to happen, as they ruined all chance of Young Thug ever being released on bond, all due to a single tweet sent out from his Twitter account. The tweet states, "I'm talking to my roommates, and we're wondering if you could swim 100 miles from the middle of the ocean back to shore at Michael Phelps." Now, what seems like a very innocent tweet sent out by his manager by Young Thug's request over the jail phone, it turned very ugly in the courtroom, as this was Young Thug's lawyers defending him in court about the matter.
Williams is in a jail outside of Fulton County. There are 0 cell phones in that jail.
That last tweet that was sent out to Michael Phelps is recorded. It's been investigated by the sheriff of that county, and it was a conversation that's recorded between Mr. Williams and a member of his close friendships, that he asked the other person who has control of his Twitter account. That is not a reason to...
Well, this is part of the conversation, Mr. Steele, and you and others are going to need to have with your clients, because this is part of the state's concern. I mean...
That was an innocent... That's nothing bad. Asking somebody to tweet to Michael Phelps, can you swim 100 miles in the ocean? That has nothing to do with intimidation. That ask you, Rico?
Well, if I can communicate through a family member or somebody else, then I can communicate something else.
Everything okay?
Sorry.
Okay, your family was concerned that something was going on. You're fine, right?
Yes, I'm great.
Okay, cool.
Now, at the end of that court hearing, you hear Young Thug's lawyer asking if he's feeling okay, which his reaction is that he's still holding strong, which is a great thing. Prosecutors raised concern to the judge that Young Thug has way too much social media access, and that he's still committing crimes and having crimes started while behind bars. An example of this is when the prosecution in the Young Thug Rico case announced they have proffer deals from members of YSL. Members of YSL that are still out in the free world were caught deleting evidence from the case that all relate to Young Thug. As we saw No Jumper report, and I quote, a YSL member was caught on an illegal cell phone trying to get someone on the outside to destroy evidence in the case. If you want to stay up to date with the Young Thug Rico case, make sure you subscribe to the channel and leave a like if you're new. It's been District Trending, and I'm out. Peace.